Hey, one and all, it's noon. That means it's high noon live draw. And I have with me starting off today Avery from Comics and Illustration 7.62. So if you've yet to subscribe to him, go and subscribe to him.
Hey, what's up?
So I'm going to put in.
And Back Hero, book 1 on Indiegogo.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm going to put both those links right now, right in the chat.
Thank you. You're a good man. You know what? I don't care what John Dillard says about you. You're all right.
Okay, so there is Avery's link to his channel for those listening right from the beginning later on to get to him. And of course, here is coming here. I'll just gotta copy and paste it from my notepad of all my links for YouTube.
Yeah, I need to do that too, man. I have a document like that on my phone, but I need to do that for when I'm on my computer also. It makes a difference. It helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps. That way you can just copy and paste, do
Yeah.
a simple little. It's something I started from the beginning. I suggested it to John Dillard when he started going live. I also just suggested it to Manny.
Yeah.
Yes, I will be coloring Cat's drawing, JP. I have with me Comics and Illustration 7.62. I'm not sure whether you subscribe to him or I'm backed his Indiegogo for Hero. Well, it's his. And Andrew.
Yep. He's the publisher. I am the colorist on that fine project.
So, and I'm not sure whether you guys followed along. Anybody followed along last night for Drawn and Quartered Pro Edition?
I saw a bit of it, and I saw some of the artwork you were posting at Edwin.
Yeah. I was just about to show those off. My few different designs for Space Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
With this, I don't know why my white on the black turned out blue, but it did.
That happens sometimes, like a whiteout or an acrylics reaction with whatever type of ink you're using. That happens.
I was just using one of these Sharpie things here.
Yeah, that's.
I used this gel for a little, but not much.
Yeah, that's it. You did it with Sharpie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. That's a common reaction. Don't sweat it, because if you were reproducing that, you would adjust that out.
Yeah.
It's no biggie.
But what I was thinking when redesigning the Space Ghost was, the black for space it was supposed to be white for stars and then the white parts for ghosts.
Yeah, I get it.
And then because other people were doing whatever mechanical, I decided, sort of space helmety there,
I was late to watching that episode because I was trying to watch it and Ethan at the same time. So I had one on my phone, one playing on the Xbox. And after I started seeing people's designs for redesign and I realized it was, Space Ghost, I was like, oh man, it's too late for me to do one. Because I really would have liked to have done one. And I liked a lot of what the pros did and the fans who were following. I was like looking at a lot of it, like, man, these people got some good ideas, man. Like they need to turn these into their own characters, not just redesigns for Space Ghost.
Well, guess what? I think somehow, somewhere, these characters, these redesigns are gonna fit somewhere in my comics at some point. They're gonna be from some character because you'd never be able to associate them with, Space Ghost.
Because I think a lot of those redesigns will really work. Like Kelsey Shannon should definitely that's something of his own that he should write a story or find a writer and work on. The same with Elliot's.
And hello, Bethany out there. John and Bullet.
What's up, guys?
And the one thing I'm surprised that none of them did in the redesign was do the gender bender thing.
It would have worked.
The whole, cheesecake or aspect,
Sure.
And with maybe a slightly different costume, as you can see here, I stuck to the pretty much the normal costume,
Mm-hmm.
except they gave some hair coming out the back, and I put the skirt on,
Sure.
But so I thought, I put that one up. Three redesigns in 2 hours is pretty good.
Yeah. I wish I had participated in that and done one. That would have been really, really cool.
I'm just gonna sign those, and I'm also gonna make sure I scan them into my computer, and eventually those things might go on a Sunday auction.
Absolutely.
Well, so what I'm going to do right now is Kat earlier this week sent me a version of my one character, Scorpio. So I'm coloring it in Autodesk Sketchbook. And so what are you going to be doing, or do you know yet?
Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm sharing. I'm finishing up colors on my Lone Star little fan art.
Okay.
This Lone Star I drew, I'm finishing up those colors. And I may put minor tweaks on the colors for the new wraparound cover for Hero.
Yeah.
I think it's done, but it's one of those things I just want to take like a few hours today to just look at and see.
Yeah.
Little tweaks, little touches, but it's pretty much done.
Yeah.
After a few hours, I may be like, you know what? Yeah, it's done. And start posting it around for people to see.
Yeah. Well, that sounds. Bethany saying your Lone Star looks great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, now can I just... I'm not sure how to... I haven't worked with this program a lot.
What is it?
Autodesk Sketchbook.
I've heard of it, but I've never used it.
Yeah. I just started using it, sort of working... Turn me down, Mom. Working with it in conjunction with Illustrator.
Uh-huh.
I got the Illustrator spot. Went into Illustrator to take out all the stuff around her, and just to make it look better.
Mm-hmm.
Bethany's saying it's good. So yeah, taking it step by step, learning it, and people are.
Who makes that?
Autodesk. Who makes Autodesk? They make a lot of other programs. Oh, I'm thinking Corel, but I think that's wrong.
But
anybody know?
I see a Copic logo there.
Yeah, they've got they inserted the Copic colors somehow for all their markers, which I thought was neat when I opened it up for the first.
Sure. I wish I had Copic markers. I've had them before, but they're so expensive. I stopped using them. Because one of the things I like to do that I think looks really, really super cool is if you use Copics or Prismacolor markers to lay down basically an underpainting and then finish with gouache, it does really, really cool stuff. It looks really cool the way the marker comes through the gouache or mixes with the gouache a little bit. It's pretty sweet.
Okay, Bethany saying it's a free program. It's pretty cool.
It's free.
Model saying, yeah.
That's cool.
The only thing I don't like it is there's a lot of the shortcuts for Zoom and stuff like that you're used to for almost every other program out there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't work on it. They don't have those shortcuts.
They tried to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. I don't even think they have a shortcut for a thing. Like, say you want to zoom, right? You need to go up to the magnifying glass, and then you need to do the magnifying glass in the middle, and then you can't just take it off and go up and down with your thing. You have to use this to go like that to, navigate it, for lack of a better way of saying it. So It's good in a lot of ways, for sure. I'm not going to knock the program. It just takes some getting used to because
but it is free.
Yeah.
So you can get professional results from it.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
that's
I
great.
think you. And I've got a whole bunch of other things like on my other monitor here. I'll show you that you get with it. You got this. You do your layering. Of course, you do the properties. And you've got the color wheel here, which has your eraser on, your eyedropper, and you can adjust everything and, switch between some other things for coloring. And you can, if we can get this over here. Come on. I'm going to have to bring them all. There. And then it's got a whole bunch of a brush library, your basics, textured, Copic, synthetic paint, traditional, texture, shape, splatter, glow, smudge, designer, artist, pastel, colorist, Inktober, pencil crayons, Jason's free fantasy art, Water One, Cloud Stations, art brushes, manga brushes, crosshatch brushes, texture watercolors. Some of these you have to download, but they're free too. So, fur brushes, grunge brushes, Hudson Rio Design, and I think they had some other ones that I didn't download too. Inked, acrylics, oils, as you can see, there's quite a few here.
It's a pretty capable program for free. There used to be this painting program to compete with like Corel Painter, and it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still free. I don't even know if it's still around, but it was called Art Rage. I used to have it. It was pretty good. I don't know if the program's still around or not, or if it's called something else now, because Manga Studio is now what Clip Studio Paint. But I don't even know if that program's still around. It was called Art Rage, and it was really good at mimicking texture of paint. And you could switch between oil and watercolor or acrylic, and it would behave that way on your canvas for digital painting. And it was really good for a free app. It was great.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh, this is really great for free. I probably would like to switch to, the manga or gouache. Yeah. Says model saying Autodesk is the name of the company. I thought there was another name to them too, but
Gouache.
Gouache says John Dillard.
Yeah. I've always said gouache, but it's like gouache or something. Yeah, I've always had a hard time pronouncing it, even though I use it. Like I buy 2 or 3 sets of it a year. That and watercolors, because I love mixing them.
Yeah. Sandra said, "Wow, Rick, you got better drawing. This is a cat's drawing. I'm just coloring it.
It's cool.
And because it is my character, so
very cool, man."
And let's see, Bethany's saying, "I have it on my iPad. It's easier to use that way." Yeah, I just downloaded it on my phone last night. So I don't know. I haven't tried you. Oh, hello, Lorenzo.
Hey. It's surprising that a cat's not really a cat. She's just appropriating their culture.
Oh, no. Lorenzo's here to stir things up.
But Andrew is a furry.
Andrew is a furry? Oh, dude. Oh, dude.
Where is he?
He's at work.
Oh, that's not fun teasing him at work.
Yeah. He has a regular day job.
You could tease Rick about Canada, though.
Yeah. I'm off today. That's the reason I'm here.
That's a good enough excuse.
Yeah. I was going to stream, then I realized Rick was about to, so I just said, I'll just jump on with Rick.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent idea.
Yeah, why compete? Why compete when we can work together, right?
Yeah, exactly. Cross promotion.
John Dill was trying to
cross promotion comics.
Wash, yeah. G-Wash. It's pronounced G-Wash.
John Dillard says Rick Piper swiped Cat's OC. Well, now he's trying to claim my characters for Cat. And not just himself. Woman like Scorpion, yeah.
He is the original creator of She-Ra and the Canadian Buckler.
Her name's just Scorpio. I took the name based off the zodiac symbols. They're going to have all the zodiac people in, and they're going to be bad guys, and they're going to be a team under a name Zodiac, who's going to form them as a team. They've all become characters, not planning on banding together, but some supervillain gets the idea to do this, band them together as a team.
And who is in the supervillain Zodiac?
Yeah, he's going to name himself Zodiac. And then he's going to have some sort of suit that allows him to mimic all their powers or whatever.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. So he's like all of them combined.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, that's, that might be, that could be good because you could use that, that's the reason he banned them all together. But since he's a bad guy, I'd have him eventually betray them all.
Yeah. Well, there's only one that isn't gonna. Some of them don't actually have powers, but they have skills. Somehow he's gonna be able to mimic them with his suit. I haven't figured out. Yeah, he's not introduced till I'm not sure when I'm going to introduce him. But all the Zodiac characters are introduced in the first year and a half of my comics. So. At least, except one probably wouldn't join my one character called Libra because he's sort of a good guy, but he's busting bad guys' heads. Scavenge. Yeah.
Anti-hero.
Yeah.
I got you.
But eventually he's going to lose the Libra name and take up another name. But somebody else is going to take up the Libra name, and they're more likely to go with the bad guy.
That's a huge letdown to his namesake.
Yeah. So that'll tick him off for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When it happens. So what are you up to today, Lorenzo?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not much. I just saw that the show was on and wanted to make sure I
got in.
Yeah, instead of just kind of dilly-dallying around all day. It's like, oh, Rick's show's over. That's not good. No, sometimes I don't always have enough caffeine this time of day.
Caffeine's good. It's good for you.
Even though it already is noon.
Is it really? Yeah.
Well, it starts at noon.
And and like 20 minutes before I came on, I hit my 350th subscriber.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
So, but at 500, I'll do some sort of giveaway. I'm not sure what yet.
Ooh, give away some art.
Yeah. Oh, that's usually what I do, give away art.
Yep. Give away some art. Or some prints or something. Or some books.
Yeah, well, I don't have any of that. I don't have prints, but usually last time what I did was, well, I think it's what I did for each time. First time what I did was, I did my 100, and that was, I said I'd do a commission, but the person chose something already drawn up, and last time it was, oh, well, he's better than me. Lots of people are better than me. But anyways, and my 250, I did 3. One sketch card, one 9x12, and one, what was the other one? 11x17. So
that's cool.
I might up the ante and do 5 this time when I hit 500. But that's 150 away, and people need to start sharing out stuff. Oh yeah, if people have yet to hit the share this out, please hit the like.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Subscribe to PewDiePie. I mean,
PewDiePiper.
Dude, you should rename your channel that.
PewDiePie Piper.
Yeah. Dude, I would. I mean, it'll work. It'll probably work, dude.
Yeah. Didn't do nothing. When do we get the shirtless Rick? That's at 1,000. Yes, that is at 1,000.
Yeah, miss me with that stream, dude.
Pardon?
I said miss me with that stream. That's cool, bro. You can keep that one. I'm like, yeah, subscribe to Cross Comics. Yeah, come to the auction. Shirtless stream. You can miss that one. You don't have to show up for that. That's horrifying, Rick. Why would you do that?
Well, all my subscribers have wanted to see they think hairy chest. I keep telling them it's not hairy, but they don't want to believe me.
They keep calling you Sexy Rex, so.
This is a Christian channel. This is a Christian channel. We can't be having that kind of degeneracy.
Hey, but you see guys out in public at the beach with no shirt on, so
sure.
That's not quite as bad, as a woman.
Sure, it's just they're just trying to lead you astray, Rick.
Yeah.
Then they're gonna call you like, I don't even know. I can't even say it. It's a Christian show.
Yeah, I know. Hairy man bobs.
They're gonna accuse you of being like a cam.
A cam girl.
Yeah, cam girl.
You're trying to turn Rick into an e-thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say the word.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was.
I forget whether I've said I'd actually do it live stream or whether I just make a video or whatever. People will probably want live stream though.
Rick is not.
But I'd only do it for like 10 minutes.
Roosh is going to do a big investigation into whether or not he's paying the IRS or whatever, the Canadian IRS, which is probably even worse than the American one.
I know.
We don't fear it as much as you guys fear the IRS for some reason, it seems.
Well, because you don't have any money that's worth anything.
It's worth something here.
in America, the IRS, if they say you owe something, it's up to you to prove you don't. It's not the guilty before innocent doesn't apply there.
Yeah.
The innocent until proven guilty does not apply there.
Yeah.
I had an uncle that owned his own business, and all his employees were subcontracted. They had to pay their own taxes. Yeah. Well, they still came after him for what those nurses were paid, and he's like, "That's theirs. They're issued 1099s and all that."
Yeah, I know somebody else I heard about somebody else who did that in the States, and they came after him because of that. It's like ridiculous.
The claim is that there's a bunch of these cam girls who aren't paying taxes. Yeah. Now, there's not any proof that they aren't, but it's just this guy, Roosh, and some other people are going around saying that.
Yeah, some of the more popular e-thoughts have gotten audited because some of them are taking in thousands of dollars a month just from their Snapchats. People subscribing to their Snapchat.
Yeah. Some of the people accused, though, some of those women don't even seem to be modeling. They're just like, I know Brittany Venti was accused, and she's controversial, but I don't think she's a model. She's more like a right-wing comedian.
I guess it depends on how you consider model. Too,
well, she's like a right-wing comedian kind of character that plays this character like a parody of kind of like a.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, she pretends like she's like she plays kind of like this dumb girl, but I think she's really brighter than she.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit
she plays, yeah. I don't think she's really selling any photos to anyone, but she was one of the people singled out.
Yeah, some of them are, and I don't hate them for doing it, or but apparently some of them aren't reporting what they're making on Patreon and their Snapchats.
Yeah.
I believe that.
You can make money with Snapchat too. How the heck do you do that, or do you know?
By taking your shirt off, Rick.
Well, a lot of adult entertaining leaning performers will do things on their Snapchat, and you pay a monthly or a yearly fee to be on the Snapchat. So while they're doing things, they take snaps of it.
Things that cannot be described on a Christian show.
Yes, and I will not describe them on your channel.
Yeah, no problem. I think anybody mature enough gets the idea.
Yeah.
They're whistling Dixie.
No, I didn't.
They're whistling Dixie. Racisms. Yeah, it's become apparently big business.
I can believe it. I'd buy that for $1, maybe $2.
I'd buy that for $1. Oh man, I haven't watched that movie in a while. Wouldn't mind seeing that again, actually. RoboCop.
The new one or the old one?
No, the original. The original.
Actually, part of the new one actually was filmed here in Hamilton.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff gets filmed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
Yeah. Santa Raven's like, I'm downloading Snapchat Chow. Bye, everyone. I'm going to your rant.
I'm downloading Snapchat now. Bye. Oh my gosh. People trying to corrupt you, Rick.
I only corrupt myself.
Rick's like, you know what? I don't need help with that. I'm pretty good. I can do that all by myself.
Yep.
Oh, man.
I've got friends in person that can do it too. Help.
Whoa. Whoa. Hey now. Hey now. All right. Let's see. Let me take a look at this. This might be done. I don't know. Is it?
No, I did not say that, Joshua.
Maybe I think I should do the same thing. I could use the money. Oh, man. Bethany.
You're corrupting my chat. Forget about me.
I know. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. Your chat's getting spicy.
Spicy.
Switch to channel.
See, Christians can have fun too, joking around.
Sure. I'm a Christian. I just don't talk about it a lot because I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would just sound like a big hypocrite. So I just kind of,
Yeah.
I'll just be like, yeah, I believe it. I'm really, really bad at it. So I don't talk about it much.
So you're the example of what not to be to people.
Yes. Yes. Don't be me ever in anything in life.
You're good at showing him the example of what not to be.
Yes. Don't be this guy. All right. Almost getting close to being done here. This.
Cool. I can't see anything what anybody's doing.
Yeah. Well, when you're working on your own screen, you can't see what other people are doing.
Well, no, I've got my I've got like two monitors. So I've got the monitor for my laptop, and then I've got this 40-inch TV that that you're seeing. But because of all the extra little windows that I showed you earlier for this thing, they're across that other monitor. So they're all in front of the Google Hangout stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So now I gotta figure out what. Just because. Just trying to figure out where I should put some lines here for colors based on my coloring of some previous stuff and okay, bye Joshua.
Bye.
But Lorenzo took off. I didn't hear him say bye. I didn't hear him say bye. Maybe he got kicked out or something.
That's possible. That happens, man. It really does. Or you know, or you just have to jump out because something pops up.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's all right. All good. Okay, let's. Oh, here he's back.
There we go. There's our update. There's our sleeve stack.
Yeah, Windows update. It just auto magically restarts the computer.
Love that.
Even if I don't want it to, it forces itself on me.
Mm-hmm. I know what you mean. You go in, you think you turn everything off, and then somehow it finds a way to do it to you anyway. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I wouldn't mind it telling me, that's like, oh, we got a patch. Oh, cool. And then I could just wait a little while, and if they had not now kind of button,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, no, we're updating.
No.
I know at least the Mac used to have like something where I think one could press the button and wait, or one could somehow reschedule it.
Yeah.
I thought, but I don't think Windows does.
They used to, but they want to force you to do updates that you don't want to do.
Yeah, that I don't care for. That doesn't thrill up my leg. Yeah, that's irritating.
Let's
Oh,
see.
now everything's frozen up on me.
It'll lock down your whole system sometimes wanting to update.
Well, it already updated, and now it's locked up because let's see.
Yeah, and half the time those stupid updates slow down your whole system.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bethany says he went to start his own Snapchat channel with his maid, Sleestack. Because we noticed you were gone, and then we were wondering what happened.
Well, I had to check in on her, make sure she was doing everything she was supposed to.
All right.
Do they have computers in Somali? Should be Somalia. GP4 asks. Or is he talking about the Somali language? Because I'm pretty sure they have computers in Somalia. They probably have Somali versions of Windows 10 and Mac OS.
It's probably a language in there that you can just change it to.
Yeah.
Let's see. Model saying, Rick, do you ever make breakfast soup? I have no idea what breakfast soup is. Do you ever make breakfast? Once in a while, but breakfast soup? I have no idea what you mean by that.
That sounds
that doesn't sound right.
There's even a YouTube channel called Somali Computer Technology.
I'm scared to ask, what's breakfast soup?
I sort of asked that without asking it by saying I don't know what it is. That automatically gives them the right to say, "Oh, this is what it is."
Yeah.
It seems.
But I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
Somalia College of Computer Science and Technology. So that's on YouTube as well. The video.
And then
so that answers GP4's question.
Yeah, well, he says, ask Rick about this character's bio. What, you guys want to know the history of Scorpio?
Yes, they want to know Dewey.
Her real name is Jennifer Corini, or Corini. I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing it. She's model, actress, something like that. Or no, beauty pageanteer. Model says the breakfast soup is the traditional food of Cat's people. You mean Canadians? If you do, then you're slightly wrong. Anyways, she's seeing as though I'm Canadian. Or do you just mean, people in Saskatoon? Yeah, anyways, then you might not be wrong. Anyways, Scorpio is 6'4" in height, approximately 160 pounds. She's got strawberry blonde hair, brown eyes. Her marital status is single. She is eventually going to be part of a group called the Star Charts, as I was putting to earlier. Her first appearance is in The Wiz #4. And Jennifer was raised virtually in beauty pageants from day one. She was put into commercials as a baby. When she turned 21, she began trying out for the Miss Canada pageant. By the time she was 24, she was accepted into the pageant of that year. Tragically, she came in last place. This sends her over the edge, vowing revenge for her disgrace.
I knew she was going to be some sort of villain as soon as you mentioned beauty pageants. I knew you were going to somehow.
Passing by a trash can, she sees a magazine entitled Black Market Tech. Discard it there. Feeling foolish about getting something out of the garbage, she bends down and snags the magazine out of the trash. Quick. I didn't put the word quick in the thing, but I'm saying it now. I don't know why I said the thing about feeling foolish, but anyways, I digress. Upon getting home, she looks through it and finds a scorpion costume with all the latest gadgets and gizmos. At this, she decides this is the perfect way to avenge her disgrace, so she sends for it via mail. After receiving the gear, she begins terrorizing the judges from the beauty pageant.
Does he start murdering them or something?
I don't know exactly the thing because this probably you're going to see in the Wiz number 8.
She was terrorizing them. She's a terrorist.
Yeah. Bullets link to Black Market Tech monthly, please. I think it might be yearly, not monthly. I don't know. I just put something stupid. How trying to figure out how a beauty pageant gets this sort of tech or whatever just makes it's hard.
And have lasers and stuff.
Yeah,
lasers to shoot at people.
Lasers.
I watched an old episode of, they're all old. I watched an episode of Chips, and of course, it being the 1970s or whatever, it was they had this fascination with lasers. There was this episode where the person was using lasers to cause people to get in car accidents. I don't know why. Just getting all these horrific car accidents because people were shining lasers in their eyes.
Hey, that actually would blind you.
Oh yeah. It's just I don't know where they came up with these ideas.
ERTs is in the chat. Hey, E.
The 70s.
Anyway, Scorpio's skills and powers. Scorpio has no idea how to fight. All the power she wields comes from the suit she wears. This gives her metahuman strength that allows her to shoot darts from wrist-mounted bracelets. The darts are filled with paralyzing properties and can be shot great distances. She has complete control of the tail, which is attached to the suit, and it is used to sting people with the poisonous barb at the end of it. Also, the suit gives her protection from small arms fire. Whatever gadgets or gizmos the suit entails is unknown at this time.
What's the difference between a gadget and a gizmo?
I have no idea.
Okay. Does anybody know? I don't.
I think gadgets and gizmos are pretty close to the same thing.
Gadgets and gizmos galore.
Yeah, they
Wait, what was that? That was a song from The Little Mermaid, I think. I've got gadgets and gizmos galore.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why is Wikipedia recommending I looked at Wikipedia and I typed that in breakfast soup and in the description in Google or Bing or whatever I'm using had Somalia. I mean, I was looking for breakfast. I mean, is that they serve? No, they don't serve breakfast soup there.
I don't know.
And now it's recommending Somalia. I'm trying. That was a previous thing I looked for. These algorithms are kind of crazy.
Okay, let's see. What's are people saying here? Is this the Sagittarius character? No, obviously not. I do have a Sagittarius character. And let's see. Bethany's asking who would win in a fight, Scorpio or
The unbreakable
Apparently, there's a main dish is in Somalia for breakfast is some sort of pancake like bread, and served with a type of stew or soup.
Oh.
So that ties in. You got some sort of breakfast soup. But I also saw like breakfast soup listed on like different types of breakfast soup one can get when I looked it up.
But as for who would win, Scorpio does have the range to take out Skunk Girl, but Scorpio has no idea how to fight, so...
Sorry, I was still on that breakfast soup question. I don't even know who the heck...
So I would have to say probably Skunk Girl would actually win in a fight between the two of them. Because Scorpio has no idea what she's doing. She thinks in this suit that she can just go up and, take out a judge. She's not expecting to take on, superheroes in it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican poached eggs.
Breakfast
soup. Cow Pla. Thai breakfast soup.
And my mom is in the chat saying hi to My mom is in the chat saying hi to everyone.
Hello.
Oh.
She is King's kid. In the chat for anybody who wants to know.
Apple spice breakfast soup. Broccoli breakfast soup. Oatmeal breakfast soup. What?
Oh, I think that would just be a bowl of oatmeal.
Miso shiitake breakfast soup. I know I butchered that.
Be right back.
Butternut breakfast soup. Egg and miso breakfast soup. Miso. Oh, it's Japanese seasoning.
Let's see. Cat said, not Cat. Model saying when Cat moved from Somalia, she was forced to live in Canada for 5 years. Okay.
Where is Cat today?
I don't know. Probably at work.
Does she
Bethany
watch your show sometimes?
Yeah, she was in the chat yesterday for.
Oh yeah, she's been on your show, hasn't she?
Yeah, once or twice.
Oh, that's cool.
I think more when it was in the evenings.
Bethany says Lorenzo is fascinated by soup. I just don't understand why people would eat it for breakfast. Just trying to figure that out.
Just as long as he's not a soup Nazi.
Yeah, that was a great episode of Seinfeld. I didn't realize it was filmed in L.A. That might explain some things. Because they tried to make it look like New York. It just... But it was kind of obvious that the insides were on a set.
No,
He teases in the chat. He says Lorenzo Sleestack makes him soup for breakfast. Gotta think about that for a minute and see if that's true. Well, I get distracted by that maid outfit, so I can't. I just can't remember. I can't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Wait, who's in a maid outfit? What did I come back to?
Oh, the Sleestack. my sleeve stack maid.
Okay. You have a sleeve stack maid?
Yeah, she helps me out. She helps out a bunch of places. And
you don't just live
by help, I mean she's
kidding.
Yeah, never mind.
I'm kidding.
I don't know.
I just want to know what you see in a stack of. You see the stack of pancakes?
No.
The sleeve stack, not a C stack.
You've got a stack of C's. Well, how does that help you? C's. You know the letter C.
How about sleeves? That's a word.
You got a stack of fleas. You got a stack of fleas?
There's so many jokes I want to make, but I can't make them on your channel.
Yeah. Bethany says she's a beautiful sleeve stack.
I've got rebuttals and jokes, and it's just like I can't say them here.
Well, I mean, you can say them somewhat tastefully.
Yorkie says cross comics. The chat knows. Bethany says
chat knows what.
She's a beautiful sleeve stack.
Bullet says it's like the Special Olympics up in here.
Beautiful and sleeve stack. I got images in my head that are just wrong.
Didn't do nothing says don't be a sleep phobic, Rick. I'm not sleep phobic. I sleep all the time. Sleep every night. Not afraid of sleep. Now Lorenzo might be afraid of sleep.
No.
He's saying he's a sleepyac or sleepback, sleepyac.
Well, I need a full new avatar, actually. Bethany saying, Lorenzo, you need a picture of her behind you in your avatar. Ask Manny to do it. I really should be using my own avatar, not just a photo I found, but which is a general approximation of what I look like.
What's that?
Well, I'm using a body double.
Oh, body double?
Yeah.
For your avatar. But you look just like that.
Well, that's similar enough. You know how they say all humans look alike?
Oh my God.
Well, humans kind of feel the same way about sleeve stacks, so
yeah.
I'm not going to go and correct people.
Oh my gosh.
JP4 says you need a Simpsons sleeve stack avatar.
You can tell a Canadian because of they've got those floppy heads, the floppy mouths. You see them on South Park? Their mouths open heads. Differently.
Yeah.
Oh, like that, like the kid Ike. His head opened differently.
Yes.
Because he's Canadian.
And JP4 says you should speak in sleaze, Lorinda. You should speak sleazy.
That's kind of how we. That's how we generally speak. So it's kind of. I heard that most humans find that to be annoying. So we don't. Yeah, we don't typically. I don't typically talk that way. And apparently, people don't like being slowly chased around. You know. I guess the Marshall family didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, they're just racist. Don't worry. worry about
Yeah,
that.
they don't like being tied up and stuff because they're racist.
Obvious.
They don't like sleestack culture.
Bigots. Oh my gosh, dude.
Let's see. Bethany says, hubby has Lando Lost on DVD. Was showing him your avatar. 2019, and we know what a slee stack is. She says,
I'm a sleestack supremacist. Oh, I can't say that word. They're gonna go after me. Can't say supremacist. Yeah, they're gonna go and they're gonna tar and feather me or something.
Or something.
Yeah, the anti-supremacy people.
You're a sleestackist.
Yeah, sleestackist. All sleestacks are, well, not all sleestacks. Hashtag not all. A lot of us were kind of wondering what the Marshall family was doing, why they were in the land of lost.
Yeah, it's like they just showed up in your backyard and like started calling you the bad guy. It's like, dude, you're in our house.
Yeah, the show didn't quite depict it like it happened, but there's really no like anti-defamation sleestack leg or something.
Yeah. I mean, they showed up in your backyard and started rustling your feathers. And they're like, what do you know, it's like, listen, this is our ecosystem. You're on the menu.
Yeah.
This is the way it works here. You don't just like show up in our yard and tell us the way it's going to be.
Not sure what we planned to do with them. We didn't really think that well through. We just kind of slowly would run after them and occasionally capture them, but we didn't really have a plan after that.
Yeah, your hearts weren't really in it, or else you would have done them in when you first caught them. So I think it was more just about like, hey, this is our turf. You got to respect our rules. And
plus, everybody's got to have a hobby, and like, capturing the Marshall family. There wasn't like a lot. There wasn't a lot to do. We didn't have like a lot of video games or like poker.
Yeah.
No, you had poker. You had all these sticks. You just poke people. Poke a woman.
Oh, yeah. It's just not the same.
I mean, you show up in someone else's yard, then you get mad because...
Yeah, but then it turned out that they got kind of sucked into our dimension, and with that they were just like going on a whitewater rafting trip.
Yeah. But still,
I mean, if that's really the case, then maybe we got a little too overzealous, but live and learn.
Bethany says EVS's girlfriend has been banned from Twitter.
Oh yeah. Renfremus got herself banned.
Oh, they finally banned her?
Yeah, she got herself a nice little ban.
But she's got like three accounts, I think.
Yeah. Oh, she's not gone. Don't ever think that she's gone. Like, no.
Yeah, maybe if people didn't pay attention to her, she might disappear.
No, she's out to do she's out to do damage. She wants to hurt somebody.
But I just block her. I blocked like 3 different accounts.
Now
I think it was 3 accounts.
Yeah. Now there is a parody account out there of her.
Oh, I follow that account.
Yeah, I ignore her mostly. I don't.
Yeah.
She's of no interest to me. She doesn't have anything to say that I care about hearing.
Well, that's the thing. She's supposed to be like a cosplayer, but I rarely see her post any cosplay stuff. She does some like crafts and stuff, which if she only did that would, I would just, if she weren't going after Comicsgate, I would just say I mean, some of them are, good enough that I just would say, we'll support this person's craft or whatever. But I mean, they're decent enough. But she's gonna go after Comicsgate. I don't have any use for her.
Most
I thought she was an artist.
Yeah, she makes arts and she makes this kind of arts and craft type stuff, and like sells it on Etsy.
Okay.
And that's good. I wish she would stick to that, but she rarely promotes that. You might do that for a couple days, promote her herself, and then she's just promoting herself mainly by going after Comicsgate.
I guess it's working for her or something. I don't know, on some level.
Well, she's got single. Yeah. She's got thousands, but it's not like 20,000 or even 10,000. It's under 10,000 followers doing that. And she doesn't have a blue check mark or anything. So she's not exactly a celebrity. She's just... So that's why I don't quite get why...
Oh, she gets pats on the back from big pros.
Yeah, I think that's why she does what she does.
Yeah. She gets lots of internet little pats on the back.
Yeah. I just wonder what would happen if we just ignored her, if she would get those pats on the back or not.
I don't know. I ignore her.
Mostly. And because there's a couple of people like that. Well, more than two. A few people like that, and yeah, I just try to ignore them now. I blocked them, and then some of their followers, not all their followers, some people follow them to see what crazy thing they say next, but the ones who are like agreeing with their stuff, and then I look at their sites, and it turns out that they're definitely partisan. They can't. If there's somebody who can't be swayed, I just put them on a block list. And now most of the time when people go and they post some anti-Comicsgate or said this or that, they're already blocked, and I have to click on the message if I want to see it. Because I went and blocked Renfamous and SGW Spider-Man and some of their followers.
Bullet says she put too much weight to cosplay. She's just sitting around on Twitter all day. Woke points don't put food on the table. Laugh out loud.
Well, there are cosplayers who are heavy set. I mean, there's cosplayers in wheelchairs, playing non-disabled. It's if they put their heart into it and they really enjoy what they're doing, that's great. Though it sounds like maybe she was trying to be more like a model or something for what people are saying. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I think that's what cosplay's kind of turned into, unfortunately.
Some people make a living cosplaying.
What I always liked was it was kind of a cool kind of thing where people were like really into a character, and then maybe they would start cosplaying as a character.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seems like more like professional models who cosplay as several different characters. With
if you're good enough and you got good enough costumes, I could see it being, hire, have a business to hire yourself out for parties and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
Some people are basically look like models, and then they have other people make their costumes for them.
Yes.
Really fancy, thousands of dollars worth.
Some people's cosplays outfits are as good or better than some of what you see in the movies, and they have to get at least parts of it made by someone else who has the skill to do it.
Yeah, what I like is when people make the costumes themselves.
Yeah, but some things to pull off, you got some people have to get something else. So have to get someone else involved.
The most important thing, though, is that they have their heart in there. Is my thing. Because
I'm really impressed with some of it I see.
Oh yeah,
because it's ridiculously good. I'm just like, wow.
well, I follow some cosplayers on Twitter, and they don't all play the same character. I just like it when people get really into a character, they know their character, and they make their own costumes.
Sure.
Like some of the anime fans do that.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, Bethany. Some people can make incredible cosplay costumes. Yeah, we said that, and Bullet goes, yeah. But if you're going to make money in cosplay, selling prints, showing up to events, you have to be fit. Yeah, true. Yeah, people don't want to see a fat Batman or a fat, Batgirl or fat Superwoman or
that's a woke Superwoman. That's a Super Woman.
Yes, Wonder Woman.
Let's see.
Yeah, nobody wants Wonder Woman. They want Wonder Woman.
Yeah, let's have a version of the Flash where it's like an overweight chick who is forced to run. Everybody's gonna buy that book.
Oh my gosh, I will.
Would you?
No. No. I
maybe some people might check out the first issue just to roast. Like Zach would probably check it out. Just because how awful the idea is, but
just for a laugh.
Oh no, somebody's gonna probably come up with that concept now that I mentioned it.
Oh yeah,
TP saying now Rick's body shaming. No, hey, I know nobody would want to hire me as any superhero.
The thing is that people want to go and look at something that the people's bodies are more idealized than than necessarily what they themselves look like. It's a fantasy.
I don't want to look at some fat dude that looks like me in a cape. Ugh. No thanks.
Be kind of just be why would somebody go and buy a comic book that had the same limitations as themselves, It's like I saw this one comic book and each and every character was autistic. And at first it's like, oh, that's kind of an interesting concept. And it's like, well, yeah, but then the second later, it's like, yeah, no, that's just pandering.
Yeah.
It's probably just pandering,
That's what I don't like about a lot of it is pandering. It is tokenism. It's like if it was a sincere effort, you wouldn't be making it up. You would just
if you had one superhero who had autism but had some other sorts of strengths, that would be interesting. But what's when this person's identity is all the character is. Like
it's clearly pandering. It's clearly
it's like
is what it
this
is.
person's left-handed. We're gonna call him Lefty. Well, what's his personality like? Oh, we didn't stop to think. But you're bigger if you don't buy this left-handed superhero.
Yeah, it's left-hand. Well, he's left-handed. No, but what's he like? What?
That's the problem. Is
he's like a lot of left-handed people. What?
Yeah.
Like a normal person.
Exactly.
All right, there we go.
No, what's he like? He
Nice.
goes on about being left-handed all the time. And he shames anybody who's not left-handed.
Yeah, he shames.
I won't accept him.
You're right.
I won't accept him because he's left-handed. Well, everybody's accepting people who's left-handed. Why does he need to shame anybody who's not accepting him? Everybody already is.
You righties are all a bunch of ableists.
Bullet said, honestly, I wish it actually got people to decide to be healthy. I guess whatchamacallit? The cosplaying. is what he's talking about, I think. And didn't do nothing. Says, was the autistic hero called 8chan?
Hey, Lorenzo.
Yeah. Nice.
Goofy little doodle.
I still don't come up with the idea of putting him in the suit, but that's still more original than. Because it's not. Because this was just some photo I snagged of another Sleestack.
So you're just a lot of your people were the injured in the filming of the the TV series V.
I think they put humans in masks and to do that show. I'm not quite sure.
V, that show was. I want to find the mini series for V.
Oh, that was well done.
I've got the
reptiles, but
I want to find the comic. I knew it existed, but I never knew it was by Carmen Infantino. And I found a few issues in the 50 cent bin, and it's like now I want to find that miniseries. I want those issues.
It was very good for reptilian representation. I'll tell you that. I mean, though, I prefer if they weren't mainly portrayed as the villains. There was a good lizard guy though.
Yeah, I liked that show when I was a kid.
Yeah, one of the guys was good.
Yeah, his name was Willie.
Oh, Willie, yeah.
Did you know they remade it? They remade it a couple years ago, the series.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch
it. The original was so good. I mean, that was really weird because they just peel their faces off and.
Yeah. Back in the early 80s when that came on, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I've actually got the whole the original series on DVD.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's excellent.
I'm not sure whether it has a mini series in it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that mini series was great, and then they had that series. Hey, Pixel.
Hey, sorry to interrupt.
Hey, Pixel. Good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
Always great to see you.
Good.
Right on.
What's new?
No, I was just hearing you guys chatting, and I was sitting here messing with my iPad, so I figured I'd pop in and see how you guys were doing.
Cool.
We are doing well. I'm doing good. So, have you backed Hero yet? Have you backed Hero yet, Pixel?
Hero? I have not backed Hero yet.
Sorry.
Why have you not backed it yet?
Yeah. Don't put people on the spot like that, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's not good.
Dude.
I just teased them.
Oh, man, that's rough, dude.
There's several campaigns going on.
I know, dude. I can't back every campaign I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Neither can I.
I could go drop $200 right now, and just backing things at the minimum level to get a copy of the book, and I still wouldn't back everything I want to.
Yeah. And that's really the problem too, is especially for me, because I make these connections with all the creators, right? And so I'm talking to these guys on a regular basis, being like, hey, how's it going? How's the campaign going? Hey, we need this much still. And I'm sitting here going, well, I just dumped X amount into the servers to upgrade this, to do this, to that.
Sure.
I'm looking at my bank account going, man, I really want to back that, but that's like $50 here. There's this. So yeah, it's hard.
Well, you're promoting in other ways.
Exactly.
You're promoting.
To me, retweets from people and the posts that I've seen from that where it was from IndieCron of like, this is up, and I'm just like, awesome, thank you, that's amazing. That is enough. I appreciate that.
Oh, right on.
Yeah,
I
was just teasing him a little.
Hey, I'll be right back. My browser is not picking up my other screen. I think I need to close my browser down real quick and come back. So I'll be right back.
Oh no, I've scared him off.
Oh, yeah, you totally messed me up.
Thanks, Rick.
Oh, Rick.
Anyways, Cat said hi to you. Let's see. JP4 says, "Have you backed it yet?" Yeah, I've backed Hero. I backed it a couple weeks ago.
Thank you, sir.
Uh,
I think we are going to extend. I think Andrew is going to extend it.
Andrew should add the tier right now that people want, the 2 books or 2 books and 2 ash cans.
Getting him to do, he's very, very slow to do things, even though it's something that would only take him 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's gonna wait till after. Which that's too late. That's he's trying to get it funded now and then extend it.
I lose my temper with him all the time, dude. You would not believe the times I really have to come back and apologize to him because I just lose it.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
But we've been friends for almost 30 years. It happens.
Yeah, it's just it seems like it'd be fairly easy to add.
Yeah, it's just getting him to sit. Okay, here's the thing about Andrew. A lot of people don't know. Andrew's a super nice person. And he overextends himself all the time trying to make everyone happy. And he gets behind on a lot of little things you think he should have had time for. But it's because he has like 100 different people pulling him in 100 different directions. And he won't tell anyone, sorry, I can't right now.
That would be something that would actually...
He's always being taken advantage of.
Help others, and I would think help the campaign, because right now I can't figure out, well, I want to get a couple. I want to give a book to a friend of mine. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what I end up having to do is I end up having to go and fill out 2 different.
Yeah, because you don't want to buy 3 books. You just want to buy 2 books.
Yeah, and maybe a couple ash cans. If that definitely a couple ash cans if they were thrown in.
Yeah.
People like those ash cans, and it's
a nice
way to get people interested in comic books.
Yeah. EVS seemed to make them real famous again when he put them on
he brought it back. And like I got when I backed Graveyard Shift, I saw there was a Nerd Wonder ash can. That's the one I got.
Yeah. I gave that to they got the 2 books and 2 ash cans, and I gave one of those books with the ash can to a buddy of mine. He really liked the ash can.
Yeah,
like to do the same thing.
It gives you, like, our ash can is going to give you an original story that he's working on, a new original story, short story, and a preview for book 2.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Wow. Like in that sleeve stack.
I have an ashtray.
Let's see. Bob came in and said, "Can't talk, Rick, today. Bye." Well, as long as you hit the like button, Bob. As long as you hit the like button. Kat says, actually, hi to me. And she says, I have some spaghetti squash in the oven. Okay.
Nice.
I guess because they were asking her about the different stuff. Who do we got? Pixel back in here?
No, we don't. Yeah, we do.
Yep, Pixel's back.
I'm back.
He's back on the attack.
Yes.
For a second there were 2 pixels.
We don't die, we multiply.
I think there's a lot more than 2 pixels.
I'm high down.
Well, there's different parallel universes that some scientists at least speculate are out there. But if you're talking about on your screen, hopefully your screen does have more than 1 pixel.
Otherwise, you won't be able to see much.
Yeah.
Who else in CG is working on a role-playing game?
I'm not really. It's not really a CG project. It started way before CG. but I work with a group of guys that has a tabletop, kind of like a replacement drop-in type thing for Warhammer.
Yeah. Okay. Do you need artists?
We do need artists. I'm still trying to figure out. We just don't have money right now, so we're trying to figure out how we can pay for everything to get people to do work.
Because I've done lots of stuff for like the vampire games.
Gotcha. Yeah, so there's some really cool stuff going on with our game. It's all sci-fi based.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just in a similar vein to like Warhammer, where you've got all these different factions from around the universe going at each other. But ours are kind of cool because we've got humans. We've got the Vegans, which are humans that broke away from Earth and became their own faction on the planet Vega. But then we've got like these. God, I don't even know. I can't remember what they're called now. The Silitic? No. God, I'm trying to remember. Well, they're Silitech, which are basically people or creatures that gave up their humanity or their life. They became robots. We've got these cybernetically altered apes. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that's going on. But anyway, the lore of the universe is pretty cool. But yeah, dude, we need tons of art. There's probably, I think by my last count, I think I needed about 180 pieces done total for the book. Some of them are only like a quarter page or half a page or something like that. But there's a ton of art that needs to be done.
I've done a bunch of stuff for the vampire games in World of Darkness, so I have experience with that kind of thing. Gotcha. And I've done some Weaponized Nerd Rage is making an RPG too, and I've done some stuff for him too.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I'll talk to the guys and see what they want to do. I had reached out to a few people to try to get some stuff going, but then we just, it's hard when you don't have the finances pulled together to be able to do all this stuff, and you're trying to do everything behind the scenes first before you try to crowdfund or do anything like that. Things go so much slower, but we've been working to kind of streamline the rules. There's a gaming convention called KublaCon that's at the end of May. We're going to be demoing the game there, and we got a bunch of armies that were painted up professionally for us and everything. So we're going to go in and do some play testing, get some feedback from the rules, and see if we need to make additional adjustments to it. We had actually printed the book and sold a couple copies of it for people to check out and stuff about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Reaction was okay, but we didn't sell too many of them. So we're going back to the drawing board and kind of fixing stuff up.
But gaps in that market are starting to open up.
Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like a lot more people are getting disgruntled with Workshop there. Yeah.
Yep. And they're getting disgruntled with several of the publishers.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm hearing about. So there may be some things opening up for some new companies to come in, new publishers.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, it would be a good time for it. I think these guys are ready for it. It's all just been a passion project. They had worked on it for about, I want to say 15, 20 years, just kind of batting the idea around and never really got everything finalized. And then they finally sat down and really started pounding out the rule book and the lore for the characters and everything. And pulled me in back in like 2015. I can't believe it's been that long now. And we started doing some concept art, little things here and there for it. I've got a couple pieces. I'm on my iPad right now, so I can't show them, but I can switch over to my PC or a laptop here in a minute, and I can show some of that. But, overall, I really like it. I don't know much about the system, unfortunately, because I've never been a RPG tabletop kind of guy. I'm actually going to go and learn the system while I'm there at the con with them. So I'm going to be drawing and learning.
That's cool.
Yeah.
People ask me about some of that stuff. It's like I've never played one.
Yeah,
I've helped make dozens of them as far as doing the artwork for the books and and some of the cards at the White Wolf and Onyx Path and all that stuff. But I've never played them.
Oh, they can be fun. The trick is getting enough people to play, and then getting enough people to play consistently.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you got that, people had some really, really entertaining type games. I mean, people can have some really funny campaigns. really
Yeah.
fun campaigns.
I've actually watched some people play sometimes. Like I was play Dungeons and Dragons one time. Actually, I was watching John Dillard a little bit the other night when they were playing.
Yeah, I think I saw you in the chat there.
Yeah. I was mostly lurking. I just said hi so people you would know I was there. And I watched for a while. I was like, okay, I was like, this is really cool playing that way with the map and Photoshop and little representations of everybody's characters. I was like, that's pretty awesome.
I think they do that kind of late at night, at least in late in my time zone, Eastern time zone. But fun with it. I mean, are they coming up with creative ideas and joking around and stuff?
Yeah, I thought it was cool
because that's really the way to play something like Dungeons and Dragons, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's all sorts of ways people can be like serious, and they can joke around or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really one of those creative kind of things. I would always try to come up with the most creative solution possible if I got into some sort of bad situation.
There's a lot of what I saw is like I really don't. It's kind of like when I watch a Rudy Alpha Investments. It's like I have no idea what he's talking about, but I'm very entertained.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how excited he gets about new cards.
Yeah. And he's here in Jacksonville. He's here in my town.
Okay.
And I think I've even run into him a time or two before I knew who he was. Because when I found the channel, I was like, I recognize that dude.
Oh, that's right. You're out there with Henderson too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I ran into him the other day.
Yeah.
Because he was at the comic shop I go to is the one he was at signing the other day, and it's like I literally leave my neighborhood and cross a major road here in Jax, and there's my comic shop.
Yeah, that's right. He was talking about Hero being in that store too, I believe, right?
It was a different store.
A different store?
It was a different store. It's the old black and white versions before Andrew hired me to color it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that shop, one of the shops here in town, carries it.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Because he did a Kickstarter for it originally to print it in black and white. Just some quick like print on demand versions in black and white.
Yeah.
And it got funded, and he printed up a few. And I think what's at that store is all that's left.
Oh wow!
The original black and white, because he doesn't have any more. I think of the first book.
That's pretty cool. I should hit up Ben and see if he can snag me a copy or something then.
Yeah.
But I guess colored would be cool too. So I'll have to see. I've got I have some funds, but I don't know how much you've heard about the whole situation with like Indicron and Indie Focused and stuff. But Ben and I partnered with Edwin Boyette to create Indie Focused. So him and Ben and I have been talking pretty much every day, like on the phone and stuff, trying to get things coordinated to get the company off the ground.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. There's a lot of really good stuff happening.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, I've been listening on like Edwin Boyette's channel talking about it.
What's happened to is Indicron still around?
So
Indicron be Indie Focused from now on.
So here's the thing. So just to clear up any confusion that people have, I know Edwin's talked about it at length, but since I created it, I might as well step up and talk more about it. Indicron is still continuing. Indicron is. I actually have a backlog of stuff I need to approve, and I probably shouldn't be drawing right now. I should be doing that. But there's a couple books that I'm going to be dropping into the system today. It's going to continue. It's going to continue to be free. We're not going to charge anybody to be listed on the site. We're going to be adding some features like a blog pretty soon, so we can talk more about promoting these different books and getting more information out there. Edwin's been working on videos for creators. So as far as Indicron goes, nothing's really going to change. The team has changed up a little bit. There were some things that happened, but it's important for people to understand that the site didn't go away. We just had to kind of step back from it for a little bit to figure out, okay, where do we stand now? We are working on some rules and stuff to kind of pull people back into the site. Our traffic hasn't really gone down, but I want to put together a team of people to manage the site while I'm working on other things as well. So we're going to have about, I want to say 6 to 7 additional people that will be called ambassadors. That will be people that connect to the community, go and get extra, try to reach out to other books that need help, that are part of CG but haven't been listed, things like that, so that we can draw more people into the site and continue to keep the content fresh. And that'll allow me to focus more of my efforts on indie focused, and coordinating with the team that's building that up and getting all those functions pulled together. So I'm pretty stoked with it.
Cool.
So basically, IndieCron is just Comicsgate, right? And Indie Focus is anything that's independent other than, or probably including Comicsgate?
It's going to include Comicsgate. So we're going to have filters, so people can still come to Indie Focused and say, I only want to see CG projects. And that they can have that ability to do that. They just hit a filter and they say, okay, this is only CG. There'll be little indicators for each CG project. But for people that want to support more than just CG and actually get in with indie projects, there's so many good indie guys out there, like the Jack Irons team, Sporkman, even the Something Real.
Yeah,
right?
And if I go to IndieCron, there's things that I don't see on there that are things that to somebody's like maybe adjacent, but I might be able to see it on Indie Focused.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it on Indie Focused. So because those guys, like I said, they're adjacent, so they're friendly. Adjacent's adjacent's been kind of turned into a bad word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
To me,
but it's friendly. Anybody that supports creativity, supports not deplatforming people over petty politics and stuff. We want to help them get their stuff out there to people. We want to expand the reach of CG as well. And really, to be able to do that, you have to embrace some of the people on the outside and bring them in and build up a larger community to point people, hey, you like this book, check out these guys over here. We're not going to change IndieCron, though, because IndieCron got built up. It's focused on CG. It's going to remain focused on CG, and people will be able to continue to trust that the books that are listed on there are fully supportive of the CG movement.
That's cool.
Okay, just give me a sec. Kat said a couple comments here. For back when we were talking about the D&D for John's thing, she says she's just waiting for Chester to kill all her characters.
It's coming. Don't worry about it. He's a vicious DM from what I've heard.
And then she says, who's all on the stream today? Well, of course, there's me, Rick. We have Pixel Trader with us right now. We have Lorenzo, Slee Stack with us, and we also have Avery, Comics and Illustration 7.62, who is on the book Hero.
Yeah, I'm the colorist for that project.
Yes. Okay, so go on.
and whether Hero makes it or not, we're already talking about what we're going to do next.
Oh, that's good.
We've got some ideas, and I'm coloring the second volume of the second graphic novel already.
Yeah, you should show off that wraparound cover right now to everybody.
Oh yes, this is going to be the new cover for the color version, the wraparound cover for Hero Book 1. I just finished coloring it.
Yeah, I looked at the black and white, and it's like, wow, black and white's really awesome. But then I see your colors, and it's like, wow, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and Andrew wants to have a tier where you can get the original art with a print of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the print will probably be about the same size as the original art, because he drew this on one sheet of illustration board. So it's like 25 by like 20 something, or 26 by almost 20 something. It's huge. It's all one piece. It's not like two pieces of Bristol board taped together.
Gotcha.
It's one sheet.
That's cool.
And the print on that. Yeah, and the print will probably be something similar. Like it'll probably be like on a metallic photo paper, like archival photo paper. It'll be really, really nice. That, or maybe it'll be a metal print. I don't know. I'd really love to find out where Mike Miller gets his metal prints made, because he looked pretty dope.
Are you I was going to say you could just probably
Well,
email him.
his DMs aren't open on Twitter, so I don't want to be like, hey, publicly.
I could probably hit him up.
Yeah, I could hit him up too. He's following me on Twitter, so.
Yeah, nobody follows me.
Well, follow me, and I'll make sure. Oh, you probably already follow me. I just don't.
Yeah, I do. I do. I believe I do.
Ping me. My DMs are open. If I'm not following you, ping me, and I'll make sure I follow you.
Cool. You might.
I try to. I don't know. I get really distracted super easy. So there's times where I tend to just not follow anybody. Like if you look at my follow ratio, it's I think I follow like 400 people, but I've got like 800 followers or something like that. I don't know.
So I was kind of curious about Indie Focus. Is the layout of the site going to be similar?
So we're actually redesigning the entire system. Originally, what we were going to do is clone IndieCron over and then start building over the top of it. What we've decided to do, because we want to introduce so many new features and things, it really requires a new system for managing all the content and stuff. So
okay,
we're rebuilding it. It's going to have a similar kind of feel to it, but it's going to be way different as far as the back end platform and stuff. But like there's so many features that we're talking about wanting to introduce. We're trying not to overwhelm people, but we're going to be having a crowdfunding component to it. So basically a replacement for Indiegogo. So we're looking at the fees and stuff right now, but what we want to do is actually lower the fees compared to Indiegogo, or at least match them. If possible, we're going to try to reduce them though. So we would actually make more money for creators that show through us. The other thing too is we have a Patreon type component that we're working through. So people will be able to do their own little supported crowdfunding type thing for their work, to help produce content and stuff and get backers and things like that. There's the whole print and fulfillment program that we're pulling together, so people will be able to get support for printing and fulfillment without having to worry about all the ins and outs of trying to figure out where to go for printing and all.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, what I'm trying to work through right now with Ben is how we can combine print runs to lower costs even further. Because if we can get 3 or 4 books to print at the same time, obviously, scale helps, right?
Yeah.
And so you print a large number of stuff. Even if the books are a little bit different, it still helps reduce the amount of cost because they can do their print runs. There's certain things you can't avoid. But
well, if one company is bringing you, I've worked in print shops before.
Mm-hmm.
I've run small printing presses, and I've worked in warehousing and distribution too. But in the print shop, like unless it's going to make you thousands of dollars, it's not even worth turning those machines on. So when a company brings several different projects, even though they're not 5,000 each, but it's still 1,000 here, 1,000 there, you can package all that together to bring down.
Yeah, it adds up quick. So we're trying that. There's also so his big thing right now has mostly been like newsprint, like high quality newsprint. Mm-hmm. However, there are also connections out there in Florida for like AM Print Solutions and a few other places there that do really high quality, really nice paper printing jobs with amazing cover quality and different stuff. And creating a strategic partnership with those guys and stuff to be able to hand off the work to them for the bigger stuff, I think that would be a really good way to help everybody out. So we're trying to chase a bunch of different ideas and get it all working. And I'm pretty encouraged by what we've found so far. But it's just a matter of time. We just got to get a few things figured out and just roll through it, and eventually it'll all work out. Hopefully.
Yeah,
that's excellent.
Yeah, the hardest thing that we've run into lately, just with the way that things have been going, is just people not quite understanding or being misinformed about what's actually happening with IndieCron and all of that. And so I've been trying to reassure people, don't worry, it's not going away. We're not going to start charging. Somehow people got it in their heads that we were going to start charging. And I've never wanted to charge for the site. But, there was this whole conversation with EVS a couple of days back with Edwin and him, where he was saying, you got to put ads on the site. You got to put ads on the site. You got to monetize this. I had thought about that. And the thing that bothered me the most about monetization is that while you do have some control over the ads that show up on the site, you don't have total control. And I don't want just a random car ad or something, you know, just showing up on a site that's dedicated to people that I'm working with. Like, I want to be able to say, you know, if somebody comes to me and says, like, let's say Indiegogo comes to me and says, hey, we would love to sponsor a section of your site for a month. I would be down for that. You know, this section brought to you by Indiegogo, blah, blah, blah. I don't want a big ass ad showing up in the middle of the page as you're scrolling through it. And it's like, oh, you know, let's go buy tea.
And some people's ads have malicious stuff in them.
Exactly. I want to protect the privacy of the people. I want to make sure that everybody's, you know, getting the stuff that they want to see. And I just felt that the site doesn't take enough traffic to really be too expensive. I put out the funds early on to make sure that I paid for stuff outright. So the site can run on its own without really any type of payment for about 2 years now. I invested a lot of money in it up front. I'm trying to recover some of that through like the sales of the like shirts and hats and things. But I only make a couple bucks per shirt or per hat. There's not a whole lot of extra because
there's not.
It's a print on demand type service as well.
Yeah, so, there's very little money.
Yeah, there's hardly any margins made there. A lot of it is just going to them for their time and device and all that stuff. So I'm mostly having fun with it. I got myself a couple hats because I wanted to have hats for stuff I've worked on. But yeah. With
the print on demand, there's not a lot of profit there because we've had people ask us about doing having a much lower goal for printing Hero, and it's like, well, that would leave us with print on demand to print that fewer copies, and it would cost print on demand a book the size of Hero. We would lose money on each book. It would cost almost like $30 a book to print them.
Yeah, and I don't think people get that. They're like, oh, well, you know, they have all these print-on-demand services. They have all this. And I'm like, yeah, but have you ever really looked into that?
Yeah, I know. Printing a color comic on demand can cost you $4 a copy to print.
Yeah, it gets pretty rough
for a standard comic.
Yeah. Bethany wants to thank Pixel for explaining all this. There were tons of stuff going around that didn't make any sense over it.
Yeah,
and there's been some misinformation that's been spread about the whole situation and stuff too. And one thing I do want to put out there as well, Doug and I have spoken to each other directly. Him and I are totally fine. We've talked everything through. He's apologized to everybody and said, hey, you know, I'm sorry. A little bit misinformed because, you know, I hate to see certain people get treated as a certain way. And I totally respect his opinions for all that. So him and I are fine. Him and I have worked it all out. He's off of Indicron now because he got upset about the whole situation. He asked to be removed. So we respected that wish and removed him from the site. But Doug's been amazing. Him and I have been talking about a lot of different stuff. He's actually kind of helping me with a project that I'm planning for later this year or early next year. So he's been giving me a little bit of guidance and stuff on that. And so I'm going to meet up with him for Comic-Con. We're going to have a good time and try to, you know, I'm going to buy him a drink that I offered. And so we'll hang out. But the things that happened with Indicron, it was a perfect storm. There was some internal stuff going on where we were having some trouble, and Edwin was brought in to mediate. And then right as that was happening, suddenly I call it Hurricane Doug, that situation happened, and it just, everything blew out of proportion. And then the team split up for the most part. You know, we're still trying to fix up some of the site. Now War Campaign has their own site that they're developing CG only. So we're going to be, you know, I offered to share the assets that I've got with them. So if they want to have any of the data that I've got, that's public data. I'm not sharing any of the private data with people, but any public data or any images, things like that, I'll gladly share that with them to help support CG. But
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you know, they don't need to go and dig all that stuff up, but I want to help where I can, but I still want to keep Indicron going as much as possible. And if there comes a time where it's obsolete and people don't need it anymore and the traffic drops to where it's no longer needed, it's fine. You know, I'll take it down at some point. But for now, it's going to continue. And we're going to try to continue to help creators.
The problem the thing I noticed was, I'll try to put this delicately, it's like there's a certain individual who was Comicsgate, and then he felt kind of pressured, felt kind of bullied or whatever. I don't know if that really happened, if he was really bullied or whatever. But he's not going to Comicsgate anymore. Yeah. There's lots of pieces of this sort of thing. and then they can't be listed on Indycron. And it's like, why aren't you listing this guy on Indycron? It's like, well, he's not calling himself Comicsgate anymore. It seemed like it was kind of like, it was almost like becoming like kind of a purity test or something, is what some people were wondering about. That's why you're getting this indie focused.
So the purity testing aspect comes out of the good. So let me step back. When we announced that we were going CG only back, I think we announced it in December. We didn't actually implement it until February 1st, but we told all the guys that we knew that were adjacent or were on the fence that, hey, we are looking to change the site so that we can focus specifically on CG. We understand that you may not want to be labeled, or maybe you want to kind of stay in the center and you don't want to associate 100%. We would love to have you here with us, but we understand if you don't want to do that. And I think I worded it a little too strongly as far as like, join us to battle the SJWs, or so. I don't remember how exactly I did it, but I was hoping that I would inspire them to stay with us and fully adopt. And a lot of them did, some of them didn't, and they went their own ways. And I felt bad because that it hurts some of the relationship, because it put CG against some of those guys, and it really shouldn't have been the case. They just wanted to stay more independent. That's fine. What happened recently, though, is, well, there was the whole situation where somebody claimed to be a dox or whatever. There's certain doxing situations that were coming up and people were talking about. And so it became to a point where associating with somebody was a crime to certain people. And I didn't like that aspect of it. I really didn't like that aspect of it. And I actively fought against it. I did not want us to say guilt by association is cause for removal or is cause for people to be pushed out. And it shouldn't be that way. But I understood the concerns of certain people because of the connection between those guys. But I was reassured multiple times, and I am good friends with Brad. And never did he have any, well, he didn't even know about the whole situation really with the doxing and whatnot too, but he was like completely taken aback. He was like, oh my God, I didn't realize all this stuff was happening. So
yeah, he doesn't, I don't think he follows all the controversies.
No, he doesn't. He
goes on these shows and he might, there might be somebody else on there who's controversial, but he's not necessarily going to know that. I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. And that, he's got a shop to run. He's got a life to run too. And not everybody.
Yeah, a lot of people
every
really
waking hour
on Twitter.
Stuff. Yeah, they don't. It was a big deal.
I don't keep track of his stuff. I'm just like, I'm trying to sell hot dogs.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just want to help people sell hot dogs. But
yeah.
So him and I talked about it. I saw some of the stuff that happened. I saw some of the private messages and some of the other stuff that occurred, and I felt bad for the guy, and I wish that the situation wouldn't have gone down the way it did. But he felt that it was time to step away, and he was not removed from Indycron until the point where him and I had a discussion, and he said he was ready to step away from CG. And I did not want to take him off the site, but based on our rules, the way that we'd set it up, we said, okay, it's going to be CG only.
Yeah,
and he understood the situation, and so he came off the site.
That introduction of that rule, that really seems to cause all sorts of controversy.
It did. Well, okay, here's the thing too.
Listen, on Indycron, it's given people. Some people think, and it's not anything that you've said or anything. It's just some people seem to think it's okay to go and attack people if they're not on there.
Sure.
Or try to get people kicked off of Indycron.
Yeah, that's
really weird.
We're not trying to do that. We're if people want to.
I know you're not trying to.
If we wanted people to support only books that are on Indycron, I'm okay with people only wanting to support. If that's their prerogative, if that's the way they feel comfortable and feel safe by only backing books on Indycron, I am happy to support them in that. But I do still go out and I've backed a number of books that weren't on Indycron. I've backed a number of creators that were even on Kickstarter. I don't limit my scope to just Indycron because there are a lot of really good people out there making very good products. The thing with Indycron, though, you can go to tons of different indie sites, right? You can go to a lot of different sites. You can go straight to Indiegogo. But if you want to go somewhere to find just the books that have started waving the flag and said, we are CG, we are here to support this movement, we've put skin in the game, we want to show you that we support you. That's the focus of Indycron. It was to give
and when you guys announced CG, they were going to be only Comicsgate. Because I don't want to say CG only because there's another site called that.
It's okay.
But when you
yeah.
decided to go Comicsgate only, there weren't a bunch of sites that were CG only.
There were no sites that were CG only.
So
really. Yeah,
I can see that you wanted to fill. That's why you went that route.
exactly. So there was there was no site that was focused solely on CG. It's like, look, you go to the NFL websites, right? There are team sites. You can go to a comic book site out there on the internet. It has all the different comics, but you know what? You can go to imagecomics.com, see all the books about Image. You can go to other sites. So, or if you want to look at NFL teams, you've got the Raiders website, you've got the Redskins website, 49ers. People don't expect to see Raiders news on the 49ers website, right? And so that was kind of what we were doing. We were like, let's focus, let's give people what they need, but let's also kind of, because there were certain threats about adjacent possible creators or somebody connected to something about doxing and whatnot, even with the hint of that threat, we're like, let's just tighten things up a little bit and try to help. We know we can't protect people from doxing completely, but at the time we thought we were doing the right thing by trying to solidify the community, tighten the reins a little bit, and help people feel more secure with the books that they're backing. Sure. And it didn't quite work out all that well. It did okay, but certain people didn't want to be on there. The problem with Nasser's book, unfortunately, he had two creators that aren't CG. If the owner of the book is CG, they're welcome on the site because you're coordinating the site. You're the one controlling the data. We can trust that you're going to do the right thing with that. We trust the other guys as well because they've done some fantastic work. Something Real is an amazing book, and they've done some fantastic art, storytelling, and everything there. But they don't want to be labeled CG. And because Nasser didn't want his friends not being listed on our site, I told him, they can not be listed if you don't want them to be listed, and that'll keep their name off there. Their name can still stay on the campaign. It just wouldn't be listed on our site, or we wouldn't create a profile for them, but we would still put their name up there. But he didn't want their names on the site because of the connotation of being CG only when they're not CG. And so that becomes a conflict. And he just decided to keep it off of IndieCron. And, it's unfortunate that happened, but that's the situation. So there was some misinformation, a few things that went flying around, and suddenly people got the wrong idea of exactly what we were doing and how things were happening, and then everything went to hell for a few days. And now
it was interesting to find out that there was a reason why you guys went CG only, that's interesting to.
Yeah, it was a direct response to try to give us not only just the little bit more safety as far as these people have something to lose by saying they're CG, but also really to give them the support to say, hey, nobody out here is really doing anything just for this community. Let's do something just for this community. There are plenty of other indie sites out there. What sets us apart? And we said we're going to do it for CG, and that's what happened.
Because once you say you're CG, you're a target.
Exactly.
Oh, definitely.
And people may not notice you when you first do it, but let your book take off. Let your book get popular. Then they'll notice.
Then they'll notice, and then you'll catch a lot of hell.
Yep.
And so we wanted to do the best we could to help those guys out. Now, Indie Focused is a little bit different in its approach because we are allowing those just standard indie creators on.
Sure.
But we're also going beyond just the scope of what IndieCron was. IndieCron is an aggregator that has additional information about the books and also has creator profiles. Indie Focused is going to have the similar stuff, but we're also going to be providing all those extra services and things too.
Edwin was talking about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's going to help people. Maybe he's going to help people help people with their projects.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that we can do there. We're trying to talk to more people in the community and stuff too. We want to be able to connect people. So if you've got a writer that's looking for an artist, we want to be able to help those guys get together. We're going to start doing a kind of like a Craigslist type, job board situation as well. There's so many different things we want to do, but we have to attack certain pieces at a time so that we don't overwhelm the situation. There's a lot that's happening there that we need to do. I'm sorry, guys. I actually my boss just hit me up on the side here, and I need to go and hop into a meeting real quick. But,
no problem.
I would love to stay in chat about this stuff because I'm really passionate about it.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no worries.
Nice to meet
Great
you.
talking with you.
Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Kat, I hope that all answered your question there, Kat, about why is it only CG and shouldn't it be for independent comics? I hope that and all that stuff answered your question that Pixel was talking about. And then JP4 says Pixel is like White Gandalf, only the good ways.
Okay.
And then we do have Brad in the chat. He's saying, "Hey guys, how is it? How is your day going?" Pencil for Life is Brad, right?
Yeah, that's Brad. All right, guys. I'll catch you later.
Well, take care.
It's good talking to everybody.
Yep.
Yes.
That was so cool. I'm glad he came on. He answered a lot of things that, there were some rumors floating around. He answered every question.
Yeah, Pixel's good for that.
Yeah, I like him. He's always done an excellent job.
Kat saying it still doesn't make sense to her. Well, I guess why they did. It was just, I guess, like he said, just a few months ago, there was this whole controversy. Unfortunately, it really ends up being because of some sort of drama that's going on.
But it sounds like they wanted to do something for comics creators who, because they weren't receiving support in other places. So that part of it, the whole part of the doxing, I don't understand why switching to comic kid only would help. But I think they were trying to set some standards, and they were like, oh, maybe we don't have that many. There's not any other sites just devoted exclusively to Comicsgate. What it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
Which I can understand that part. Like they became the.
All right.
Well, this is slowly coming along.
I was like, dead air.
Now they became the one CG only site, and now we're going to have a site called CG only as well. Which more websites isn't a bad thing.
I say the more the better.
Yeah,
the
it's
more
cool to have more than one resource.
Supporting Comicsgate, the better, and the more stuff out there supporting just indie comics in general.
Yeah. Well, I think JDA came up with his own site. Unfortunately, at first he did call it IndieCron, but he spelled it differently. But then he came up with his own name.
Yeah.
And I know success with that as well,
Well, Pixel, I think, bought the name off of him, if I remember right. The other IndieCron.
With the Y or whatever.
Yeah.
That was interesting, but I think it's all gonna. It sounds like it's all gonna be really. It's gonna be. Then there's gonna be so there's gonna be IndieCron. What was the other one that they? What's this new one called?
Indie Focus.
Indie Focused. There's gonna be CG only, and then JDA is gonna have his page. So there's gonna be a lot of resources for different people who want different things. Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah. Kat says, I thought the whole movement was getting rid of politics. Seems political. Yeah, unfortunately, some people want to keep bringing in the politics, but in a different way.
Well, maybe somebody likes chocolate ice cream and another person likes strawberry ice cream or whatever. And then they can have whatever there's different options.
And by that, I don't mean Pixel's trying to do it, but, other people, I don't want to mention a lot of stuff. I don't want, we've talked about it a little bit, and I don't want to go into a lot lot.
I
think a lot of it.
I don't see different options as a bad thing.
It's a good idea not to talk about it.
Yeah. I don't want to.
There's several different ice cream stores,
I don't
like two different ice cream stands. From my standpoint as a consumer, I think that's great. You get, you can go one place to get ice cream. You can go to, or it's like having more than one grocery store to choose from. That's how I looked at it.
Well, another way to look at it too is like, Marvel's had their site for years, their website, right? And DC's had theirs. If you want to know about Marvel Comics and what they're producing, you go to Marvel Comics. Now, CG is Comicsgate isn't like, a company name like that, but it's sort of similar in that way. And if you wanted to know about DC Comics, you went to DC, what they were producing.
Yeah, I've got
there's another way.
I've got more of like say how Zach or Richard Meyer, how he approaches things, whereas if something doesn't have a bunch of politics and if somebody's treating the customer right, I'll go and support them. But some people like to have something that's branded Comicsgate, and I can understand that as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Is so you go to IndieCon to know what people that are, or a lot of people that are Comicsgate or call themselves Comicsgate, what they're putting out.
Yeah, I can understand that. Once
really
to explain that there wasn't other choices. I mean, there weren't other sites that were doing that when they announced that.
Yeah. I hope. Yeah, I'm getting. We can't talk about certain topics, or else we get targeted. Yeah, I don't like that too either. That's why, that's why for the most part, I like to keep this channel drama free.
That's why Rick's gonna get naked in a couple seconds.
That's why
We'll all forget. Forget the controversy and.
Yeah, my main goal is selling hot dogs.
Yeah, my main purpose here is to sit down, do some drawings for people. Showcase my universe. I do the DC, Marvel, and whatever draw to bring people in, so I can show them my universe. So when I put out my comic book, there'll be people there to buy. Hopefully. And have some fun with other people that are producing comics and showcase them that are producing their comics,
I think eventually these indie comics will be more and more popular, and people might be demanding that you draw more indie comics. But you have a day where you do that as well?
Yeah, today I'm usually supposed to be doing Marvel, but I'm not sure whether I asked in a chat yesterday about it, And I seem to be getting tired of wanting to draw Marvel and DC. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is lately. It's just the last week or so I've been
not their best content lately either.
JP saying, "Can we still pick on Canada?" Yeah.
Actually,
Cat saying, "I'm going to make an alt account soon. Just say whatever I want." Laugh out loud. I'd support you in that, Cat.
There's this documentary I saw called Souvenirs. It's like Souvenir of Canada or Souvenirs of Canada. And this guy was trying to document Canadian culture. Like, he actually made a book called the same thing. It was a Souvenir of Canada or something like that. And it was interesting because a lot of us living in the United States just kind of look at Canada as being very similar to America.
Yeah, we're similar, but not quite the same.
Yeah. Apparently there were certain houses that like a certain style house, like where there was like these plans that one could get to build their own house. I don't know. So there's like these houses that were kind of uniquely Canadian, and they were like talking about hockey, of course, and I can't remember what all they covered, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Bullet says, I just say whatever. JP4 says, I can't call it Cross Comics with a K on the cross and a K for the comics.
Oh, no.
Just as long as you don't add another K in there.
Oh, no. I disavow. Souvenir of Canada. I tried to find that documentary again, and I couldn't find that. I could find the book, but not the documentary about the guy making the book. Douglas Coupland, I think the guy's name is, wrote the Souvenir of Canada in 2002.
Bethany says, we all need puppet accounts and an Instagram one to make money. No, that's Snapchat. JC4 says, or Cross Comics Connects. He did the connects with a C, though.
Oh, no.
Arranged alphabetically with some artistic exceptions, the book is a collection of essays on uniquely Canadian experiences and objects such as bilingualism, Anglophilia, I think that's the love of things British, beer bottles, cigarette warning labels. Oh yeah, you guys have some intense ones that I've seen. Kraft macaroni and cheese. We got that here. And the Trans-Canada Highway. Each item is given a witty summary by Coupland, often drawing on personal anecdotes. Most also feature a unique photographic illustration, either through stock footage or an original photo by Coupland himself. So that's the book Souvenir of Canada. And I saw a documentary based upon it, but I can't. Well, there's a film adaptation. That's probably what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, it was really interesting. I mean, I thought it was, and I didn't think of the word interesting in Canada before.
Dude.
But it was interesting because it showed that Canada does have its own culture. I mean, I noticed it a little bit when I visited, that there were things in English and French, and that was interesting.
Yeah, well, the only place you usually find that where everything's in English and French is, oh no, I guess it is all over the country, except in Quebec where it's just all in French.
Yeah, so
they refuse to put stuff in English.
But in Ontario, there's there'll be like a pop bottle, and it'll be in or soda pop. What do you guys call it up there? Do you call it pop?
Pop. So we usually pop.
Yeah, that's a Great Lakes region thing. It's pop. We call it pop in the Great Lakes region of America as well. But it'll be in French and English.
Yeah. Well, that's just because of Quebec we do it. You know. They sort of made a ruckus about it. Then the government capitulated to them.
What about billboards? Are they usually in both languages, or are they usually in English in Ontario?
Well, the government ones, yes.
Oh,
but
okay.
say you have like billboards, like I think you're talking about, now entering or welcome or something like that, or well, maybe not all. I'm trying to think.
But not for civil. Like if it was like a civilian thing, it's not required to be in both languages.
Well, if you're talking like a billboard for, like an ad for, Nike shoes or something like that. Or,
yeah.
I don't think that's required because that's usually just saying. Not from what I can remember. I think it's just actually, I think it's just packaging that's required for that.
Yeah, I noticed the packaging. It was bilingual, and I thought that was kind of cool. You buy like a Orange Crush or whatever, and it's in 2 languages.
Well, that's just for, ingredients and stuff like that. Crush, that's the same in both languages, right? Because that's the product's name.
I think so. Let's see. I think aren't there like a lot of brands that are branded in such a way that they can be internationally recognized?
Yeah. Like if just go with any of my snack videos, most of them that you'd see wouldn't see you'd see some French wording on it, but I don't think most of our street signs have French and thing on French and
Oh, that's interesting.
English and French. So street signs are there might be a few things that are required that way.
Like your Kit Kat would probably have some French. The ingredients also listed in French.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
And once a cat, if you're at home, if you want, because I think you're at home because you saying cook earlier, but maybe you're joking around. If you want to pop on, there's the link. That way you can see what things are done over in Saskatchewan. Wait. Because she's in a different part of Canada than me. A different province.
Is that where Sasquatches are from?
Sasquatch.
I'm using the word from Trailer Park Boys.
Sasquatches. Oh man, Rick, I'm gonna dip out. I'm gonna go make myself some lunch.
Okay.
I really like that sleeve stack you drew.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks, man. I'll message it to you. A copy of it on Twitter.
May I use that as my avatar, please?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll send you a JPEG. I'll message you a JPEG on Twitter.
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Well, there's what we got so far of this. I might take out
Thanks for
some
having
of it.
Oh, take care.
Yeah. Back Hero Book 1, everybody.
Yes.
Later.
It's an excellent book.
And go sub to him too if you're not. I'm gonna put those links in the chat.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, guys. Later.
Take care.
There's his Indiegogo. And here comes his.
So you and I both go on the Comics and Illustration Studio 7.62 channel and
Avery's
and Misfit Corner Comics.
Yeah.
We're Misfit Corner Comics, I think, is the channel that's a little more active.
Yeah. Well, I think Avery's trying to go on the days that Andrew's not on. Like Andrew's on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I believe. So Tuesday and Thursday, Avery's trying to be on. So he might be on tonight.
Still a couple times a week. That's good.
Yeah. And I think they sometimes go on Saturdays. And of course, everybody's coming on to buy some artwork on my channel to sell it off.
Is that Sunday?
Yeah, Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Sunday at the Chrysler Civic Arena. Just joking.
Yeah.
Like
to see Cat
those monster truck ads in Canada.
Yeah,
monster truck show ads.
Yeah,
Sunday.
Yeah, well, we get a few channels from the U.S. here, in at least where I am. We get Buffalo channels, a couple of the Buffalo channels. Yeah, well, from New York State.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't have cable, so we just pick it up via digital antenna. So.
Yeah, late at night I used to be able to get like the CBC, or it was after an American network was shut down. I was able to.
Yeah.
But then like the whatever network it was that decided to go 24 hours and like run like news at night, and that was kind of lame because then I couldn't see the Canadian networks anymore.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like I'm gonna wait and finish that off tomorrow. This piece, I'm slowly figuring out how to do things. That hair looks pretty good. The face looks pretty good. I'm trying to do this really solid colors, but with the other stuff. But
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that hair color.
Yeah, well, she's supposed to have strawberry blondish hair, so.
Yeah, that's neat.
So what I'm thinking tomorrow is I might end up taking all this gray and red out that I put in and redo it, just with the brush that I've been doing, or with the marker, however you want to say it, because I think it looks better without the solid colors like that. I don't know what anybody else thinks. So I'm going to stop sharing. And you want to show for yourself there?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I just Lorenzo Sleestak on, yeah, it's 2 words on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and then Lorenzo Sleestak, all 1 word on Twitter, if I recall correctly.
Uh-huh. So you can go follow him there or go sub to his channel. Do you do much here on YouTube or?
Well, right now I've been appearing on different people's shows, and so I haven't done any streaming myself. You'd be like one of the people I'd definitely want on. Obviously, like Avery and now I'm blank. Andrew, people, you know, feel like that as well. But the thing is, I'm just trying to help out with other shows.
Yeah, sounds good for sure. And I'm just gonna show for myself because I'm gonna end it here now. I've been going for just over 2 hours, 2.25 hours.
Excellent.
So I'm Rick Piper of Cross Comics. I'm here Monday to Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, doing some sort of drawing, inking, coloring now. I'm not sure. Things are up in the air for what exactly I'm doing. But I will be here doing something artistic. And I guess that's about it. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, share, comment. Check out my Instagram, my Twitter, and my webpage, as well as my Facebook stuff. And those links are all in the description. And my PayPal. If you want to just donate to my lovely channel to keep me funded and being able to go, feel free to do that. Or donating to my missions trip that I am going on. That hopefully we will be getting. At least every 2 weeks, there will be an update to that, a little bit more information. And sometime next week, I hope to have my one pastor on, who's the missions pastor on.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And we're going to do that live. It might be next Wednesday. I'm going to try and get it not Wednesday because Wednesdays are busy. He wants to do it when I go there. But I'll figure that out with him, and people will see a live. I'm hoping to do a bunch of live with the different people on my mission, going on the missions trip with me. So
a lot of people are interested in that.
So they can speak about their experience on missions trips, or that way you get to know people that are going with me as well. For the ones that feel comfortable coming on.
Well, that's so cool because people are talking about this and definitely want you to go on your mission. And
yeah. So we will see everybody later. Have a great, wonderful day, and may it be blessed. Bye for now.